See, I don't have intro music, so I have to do it myself. Obviously. How's it going? As promised, I'm here, and I'm doing another one of my my daily videos. This is, I guess, the 7th video. We're 7 days in to doing a video a day. That's cool. Today's video was delayed because I decided to go to a comic convention, which I thought was cool. So I went to this con. I went there with my dealer friend. He was set up, so I was able to get an exhibitor badge. But I don't know. I got yelled at when I left because like there were people like swiping exhibitor badges, which I just think is weird. They were swiping all badges, so I guess that's like a new security thing where we got to swipe when we enter and when we leave. But here's the thing. I was able to just walk onto the show floor, and nobody said anything to me hours before the show started. This isn't like just something that happens at this con. This happens at every con I go to, where there's no security at the beginning of the day. What's the point in some kind of card swiping system if there's no accountability? I was there. I could have brought tons of stuff in today. Security didn't say anything to me. There was no security. I mean, I don't get it. I think this is a great move, but I long term, short term, I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyways, yes, I went to the Toronto Comic Con that went on. That I guess is going on today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And the big news from that show is that they have this exclusive, this Harley Quinn, Alex Ross, Virgin foil variant that I guess was offered at a Vancouver show. I don't know. I purchased 13 of them, so who knows? But they seem to be selling for like $50 US. You buy them for 30 Canadian, so not a bad buy. They said they only brought 400 to the show, so I don't know if they'll have any for tomorrow. They probably will, but who knows? But one thing that, while we're talking about this, because there have been like a lot of rehashings of covers recently, especially classic covers, and now they're doing them, they're getting the foil treatment, and they seem to be selling for a pretty penny. I don't know if you guys have seen the 880 foils that are still selling pretty well. But this one, I guess, went on sale today. I guess, so this weekend is Emerald City Comic Con, and I guess it's also La Mole. So at La Mole, which is a Comic Con in Mexico, they released this variant, which is a trade dress foil Detective 880. Hopefully this is the last one. I mean, I don't want to see this cover reprinted anymore. Can this be the last one, please? DC, please? But, yeah, and this is in Spanish. I saw that they were selling for about 15 US. But I just found that really interesting. I mean, it's the weekend of foil reprint variants. I think there's a bunch at ECC too. I've purposely tried not to look into those variants, but it's just, I don't understand it. Great looking cover. I don't get it. But so I guess I didn't have a lot really ready for this video. I don't have a lot prepared, but I just want to show you guys some of the books I was able to pick up today. And we just go over them. Most of them are shit. Most of them are garbage. I usually only buy garbage books anyways. So I'm sure you guys will love the complete garbage that I purchase. So the one dealer there is my my tattoo artist, the guy who does all my tattoos. And I always talk shit to him because he's a loser. First of all, the tattoos I have, he never should have let me get, number one. Number two, he's a loser for letting me do that. So, is it my fault? Probably. But I'm going to blame him. Fuck him. So, I bought this off him for a song. So, it wasn't even like anything. I think I upped him on this one, even though every time he's ever purchased a book off of me, I feel like I've been ripped off, or I'm just somehow delusional. But so, I bought this, the Flintstones first appearance in comic books. What is it? It's a Dell 4-color 48, I think. And one thing you'll be noticing if you look at any of these Hanna-Barbera books is they all seem to be going up. Scooby-Doo is the one that everybody seems to be noticing. But the vast majority of these Hanna-Barbera books are seeing a very great appreciation in the market right now. So they're definitely books to be looking for. I guess that'd be what? Jetsons. I don't know what else is a Hanna-Barbera. What am I? Some kind of cartoon genius? All I know is I saw a Flintstones #1. I saw it for dirt cheap. I said, that seems underpriced. And then I bought it for like dirt cheap. And then I bought some raw nonsense garbage off of him too. But I think like when you go to a con, aside from like finding your tattoo artist to make fun of and buying cheap books, one of the first booths the booths you should be looking for are the publisher booths, because usually they have books that are sold out and sell well. So the first one I hit up was Source Point Press, and what I found there was they still had Rejected 1 second printings at cover price. So I was able to grab a few of those, and those sell for like $10 to $15 US, which is great, because I mean when you're paying $5 at a show for it, that's a great price to be getting. They also had these. Well, they didn't have these. They had one. They had one Rod and Tail #1 variant. Rod and Tail, I guess, is a movie that Source Point Press is coming out with, or I'm not really sure the whole story there. I have a few emails where they tried to explain it to me. They tried to get me to do a variant. I didn't want to. But again, there's only one of these on eBay at $50. I'm pretty sure I paid $10, so I'm happy with it. Not the worst buy. And then one thing I noticed when I was going through bins was somebody I used to see at comic book stores had a short box that he was trying to sell it off to random dealers. And I guess like he wasn't having a lot of luck. So I caught up with him and I purchased all of his books that he had. He had a short box and a little bit more. They were mostly modern books. They were mostly like garbage books. But I bought them for $130 Canadian. And then I sold the remnants for $80. So that means what? I paid $50 for the books you're about to see. Did I overpay? Possibly. But I don't know. I'm happy with it. So the first pile were these. Yeah, I mean, I got the Power Ranger Zeros, Miss Marvel 1 through 5, that really hard to find Scotty Young Moon Knight variant. I think there were like 2 Paper Girls, a Fix 1. There was quite a few Reborns. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really unhappy with it. Plus, I was helping out a friend. And then the other pile on that had like there's some Mad Max books. There was a Killer Be Killed, a Huck one. And there was a bunch of signed like Chip Zdarsky books too. It's like, yeah, like I need those, but great books. So I was really happy to get all of those. And of course, the Amazing Spider-Man 700 first print. Oh, and of course, you have to mention the Spawn. Aside from that though, like those were really like my big purchases. I bought a bunch of dollar book stuff. That usually seems to be where my focus is on stuff that's under $5. So here's a few that I grabbed. This isn't everything, but these are just some cool things I wanted to talk about, I guess, because I think they're cool. I couldn't find any Aquaman 1s, but I could find a few Aquaman 2s, which is, I guess, the first appearance of the Trench. And there's rumors that that's somehow spinning off into the second movie, or they're going to do their own solo, the Trench Aquaman movie, where it's all about the Trench people. I don't know. It's not really something that I think will ever happen, but the book is selling for $10 to $15, so how can you say no? Another book I was able to pick up for $1, maybe because it's in beat to shit condition, but I just couldn't say no to, was this Marvel 2-in-1, the first appearance of her. There's a lot of these books, but I don't know. This is just a book that every time I see it, it's like, yeah, it is a first appearance. Another book that I see and I love picking it up because 1, the cover's amazing. 2, the story's great. 3, has great potential for possibly getting optioned. I doubt it ever will, but oh man, could it be? Is Haunt #1. Haunt #1's a great book. The Haunt series is a great series. I know the #1 isn't the first appearance, okay? There's I think there's a preview book There might also be an ash can, and there's several #1 variants that you could only get at shows. But Han is a great series, and nobody seems to be talking about it. We're talking about Robert Kirkman written, Todd McFarlane drawn, Greg Capullo's on there, so's Otley. It's a great series, and it's one I would definitely recommend picking up. The next book I picked up, just to pick up, and this was $1, was Thumbprint 1. With all the Joe Hill talk, I mean, Lock and Key's moving, this other one, Wraith, or I can't even think of what that stupid book with the graveyard guy on it is, that I'm positive I have a bunch of upstairs somewhere. But with his projects moving into development, I think Thumbprint could be optioned. I think there could be movement there, and I think people could be moving towards it. So at $1, how can you really say no? And then this one I bought quite a few copies of. This book, I don't understand why it doesn't sell, and I talk about it all the time. Terminator: The Burning Earth #1. First published artwork by Alex Ross. I mean, do you need to say more? I don't think you do. Alex Ross is one of the greatest artists of our generation. A lot of artists are only... There's artists who are low-rent Alex Rosses, like, say, Mike Mayhew. Alex Ross is one of the greatest artists ever, and this is his first published work, and it sells for nothing. And every time I see them, I pick them up. So I think I picked up 4, but that's a great book. I love that book. Another book that I love that I really have been having trouble finding a copy of, not because it's worth anything, but I was able to find a copy of, and this one's straight to the personal collection, is Duckman #1. It was published by Topps. And yeah, believe it or not, this book I just can't find. I've tried to find it numerous times for various reasons, a few signings I had, and I couldn't find it, but I was finally able to find this one. This one is, I think, in like very good plus condition. Not great, but this is a hard book to track down. Other people might disagree. I won't. That's a tough... Duckman is a hard book, and I'll just be keeping that. These Valiant blanks that they originally did, I think this is from 2004. I think this is a flip book as well. You don't see them. I remember 4 years ago, I bought 5 of them, and I sold each one of them for $40. So I bought 5 of them for $20 at this show. And I'm pretty sure they're going to sell for a lot more than $20 a piece. So I was pretty happy with those. I don't know why it sells well, but you just don't see them. I think it might be the first blank for Hairbringer. Don't quote me on that. But this book in particular, for whatever reason, is just a book that you don't see. Look for copies on eBay. You won't see any. I bit the bullet on this one. I bought a 1/18 set of the October faction. I haven't found it in #1. I've looked in tons of boxes over the since this book was optioned, I guess, last year. I've looked in lots of boxes and I can't find a #1. So when I saw this 1/18 for $40, I couldn't say no. I looked it up. Like I guess my phone was all wanky, but the last sales for issue 1 is like $30 to $40 on its own. So 40 Canadian for the whole set, I couldn't really say no to. And again, I have, aside from this, I haven't found an issue 1. So I was happy to finally track that down. Another book that, like, every time I see it that I have to buy it, even though it has nothing to do with anything, is this DC Comics Presents. I don't know. I think I've built up in my head that this book is somehow important. It's not. But every time I see it, I buy it. I don't know why. I wish I knew why. Maybe there's something mentally wrong with me. But I don't know. Another book I bought that, again, probably because there's something mentally wrong with me, is this Scribblenauts variant. You might say, why? There's no reason to buy Scribblenauts variants. And I would say, yeah, you're 100% accurate. There's 100% no reason to buy Scribblenaut variants or any of the DC month variants that they did. And when people quote print runs of them, they're clearly liars, and they know that the print runs aren't accurate, because this was a 1 in 10 variant. Did you know that was a 1 in 10 variant? It's a 1 in 10 variant I bought for $5 that some people claim there's only 5,000 copies of out there. That's completely horseshit. So I don't know. All I know is that there are people who will push books like this They'll put out lists saying certain print runs of them, and then they'll have the full set of all the books on their eBay at way above market prices. So it's just something to think about. There's definitely pump and dump going on, and it's complete bullshit. But again, if you guys want to pump and dump the Scribblenut books, if I see them for cheap, I'm gonna fucking buy them. I mean, let's be real. I'm a capitalist. Another book that this book I just like. I mean, there's a lot of story behind it. Marvel didn't have permission to use the woman. I can't remember. She's some kind of actress, or I think she was like a figure skater or something. But the woman's face who's on this that Bill Sienkiewicz somehow drew into the cover didn't give her permission for Marvel to use their likeness. So there's rumors that it was recalled. It wasn't recalled. What happened was Marvel had sent out issues, and then anything that was left over in their inventory was destroyed. But this book does sell for I think $5 to $10 in near mint condition. But it's just an interesting book, and it's just a book I like. So when I saw that for cheap, I mean, how could I say no to that? The next one, which again, this is another stupid speculator book, is White Vision. How is White Vision a thing? Don't know. Sells for $15 though, because apparently people think that's a thing. I don't get it, but you know what? Bless you. Bless anybody who thinks that's good spec. Good for you if you're buying these books at $15. I'll definitely sell them to you because that's garbage. Another book I could grab for $1 was this Showcase first appearance of the modern Doom Patrol. With that TV series, I couldn't say no to this book. I mean, how can you say no to Doom Patrol? And then finally, a book that just is like completely up my alley was I was able to find 3 copies of the first appearance of Dr. Bong. Dr. Bong. I don't know why it's taken me this long to put that many copies in my collection, but hey, if Dr. Bong is supposed to be in one of these Marvel Disney Plus TV shows, which he is, this is a book you should be looking for. These I grabbed. I think they were all $3 each. Well, the one says $10, but I think I got that from my tattoo artist, and I made him throw it into the deal because, again, what a loser. But great guy, but what a loser. Whatever. Anyways, that's a great book. First Dr. Bong. And then again, a book that I talked about the other day that I think is stupid for the reason it's selling is this one. The What If Conan was on Earth today? What if he was? What if he wasn't? Who cares? I don't care. All I'm caring about is dollar bills and Benjamins at the end of the day. And these are great books to also be looking for. They're complete garbage. And while you're looking for what if books, here's another one. Listen. A female Thor, the way that Marvel did it, I didn't really like it. I didn't like the way it went, but that's not going anywhere. They're gonna use Jane Foster as Thor. This whole female Thor thing is happening. Okay, it might not be happening right now, but it's gonna come back. So I just think that's another book that is definitely undervalued, and that's also one that could very well be used in the Disney Plus TV animated series. Will that help any books if they show up in a What If series? I don't know. Here's something else I'll tell you. Today I saw one person selling What If #1s for, they said VF Plus near mint minus. He wanted $125. And I said, that's weird. And about 30 minutes later, when I was at my friend's booth, the person who runs that booth selling the What Ifs was going around asking other people if they had What If ones, trying to buy them up. It's just nonsense. That book doesn't sell for that much. The fact that you would try to make a market like that is just laughable. But whatever. Good luck to you. I hope they all sold. They won't. I don't know if you'll sell one, but that's just nuts. Nuts. But again, if you're specking on What Ifs, you should be specking on the #1 because all the other books, even if they are adapted, they'll just happen for a few. It won't have any lasting effect. The other book I picked up several copies of, and I really don't know why, was this Marvel .1. Why not? But I don't really want to talk about that one too much. I'll let you guys figure that one out for yourselves. I like it, and I think it's good spec. But I don't want to talk about it. I don't. I'd rather let other people like investigate for themselves. But yeah, that was it. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go back for the next 2 days. I might. I could definitely go and buy some more books. I definitely just bought trash today, except for that Flintstones book. So who knows? But that's really all I had for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate people being upset that I was late with this one and not knowing what was going on. I think that's great. But again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click right over here to subscribe. And if you want to watch more, go right over here, and there will be some kind of playlist showing all of these videos I've made. Thanks again, and I will hopefully catch you tomorrow for another video.